What is going on, guys? Metal Music Junkie here, aka John Browning. And first of all, let me just say thank y'all for 100 subscribers. Y'all did this. I love this community. I love reading y'all's comments. I just want to say I'm very grateful for the 100 subs, and y'all made it happen. I fucking love you guys. Anyway, it is year-end season, so that means year-end list season as well. Why the fuck did I say that? So I am going to be giving you my top 10 favorite albums of 2024. Now, there were so many good albums that came out this year, not just in rock and metal, but also in other genres like rap, which I do have a couple rap albums on this list, because I like to mix things up. Now, before we get into this video, if you're going to comment, man, where's this album? Well, I'm going to tell you where the album is. It's up your ass. If you care about it so much, why don't you just dig it out of your ass? Because I'm not going to do it for you. It's my list, in my opinion. If you want to type down your list in the comments section below, go right ahead. Basically, this is my own opinion. If you don't agree with it, that is totally okay. But if you get angry about it, go touch grass, you fucking lunatic. Anyway, coming in at number 10, we have Moon Healer by Cowboy. This was the band's first album since 2014's Sun Eater. And holy crap, was it worth the wait. I was hyped when they dropped the first single back in August of last year. And listening to it, it's basically Sun Eater Part 2. It kind of follows on the technical and progressive death metal sound that Cowboy were striving for on Sun Eater. Hell, I actually think it's better than Sun Eater in my opinion. And I will say, Cowboy, really, they really had not released anything bad. I love the early deathcore stuff. I also like the technical progressive metal, death metal stuff. This band just does not miss. So, at number 10, Moon Healer from Cowboy. Number 9 is the first rap album on this list. We got I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's from Tyler, the Creator. Some people saying that this was a step down from his previous albums. I mean, I'll admit it's not as good as Igor or Call Me When You Get Lost or any of his or Scumfuck Flower Boy, but it is still a really great album. He's another rapper to me that he just does not miss. He is probably one of my favorite rappers of the past 15 years. So yeah, number 9, we got Cherokopia by Tyler, the Creator. At number 8, we got Dark Superstition by Gatecreeper. This is the band's 4th album, I believe. I will admit, I am sort of a newer fan. I got into them around 2023. And what more can you ask for from this band? They just make good old school death metal, and it's what you like. Now, some people might say that it's a bit derivative. I can see what people are coming from, but for some people, they just want a good old-fashioned new school, old school death metal, and they delivered. And they're one of the bands that do it well. So, at number 8, we got Dark Superstition by Gatecreeper. At number 7 is a recent release, is The Last Will and Testament by Opeth. Now, Opeth's discography in the last 15-ish years have been hit or miss. Made some albums that I really like, mainly Heritage. Their other album that came out before this, I'm drawing blank on. But then they made some ones I wasn't a big fan of, like Sorceress. But this one, I was really hyped when they dropped the first single, when they brought back the Death Growls, which I'll admit I prefer that sound of Opeth. I do like the progressive stuff, but Opeth to me is at their best when they're at their most angry and pissed off and more death metal. And for this one, this has a good mix of the death metal Opeth and then the more modern progressive rock or metal Opeth. And so I would say if you're more into Blackwater Park or Ghost Reveries, you'll like this. But if you're also more into Sorceress or The Heritage, you'll also like that one as well. So number 7, Last Will and Testament by Opeth. Number 6 is a basic bitch pick. I don't give a fuck. And it's Post-Human Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon. Now, this album was hyped to hell for like a few years because they dropped the first part of the Post-Gen series back in 2020, and that was a great album. And shortly before this, their keyboardist Jordan Fish left, and he does still do some stuff on this album, and mainly the singles that were already released, mainly Strangers and Lost. Yeah, but this whole album is really good. The song Aura has a very Deftones type of feel. It's also got collaborations with Lil Uzi Vert, Daryl from Glassjaw, and Spencer Chamberlain from Under Oath. All really good artists in their own right. And when you put them with Bring Me the Horizon, it's just heaven. This band, they never stop expanding and experimenting with their sound. I mean, it's all over the place, and that's what I really love about Bring Me the Horizon. They just switch it up every album while still sounding like Bring Me the Horizon. So at number 6, Post-Human Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon. At number 5, we have Manual Manic Procedures by 200 Stab Wounds. Another new school, old school death metal band. This was the band's second album after their debut, Slave in the Scalpel, which is my introduction to them, and that whooped my fucking ass when I first heard it. And this album delivers. Some say it's a step down from Slave to the Scalpel. I will admit it's not as good, but I still think it is a great album. Really great, just death metal. I mean, what more can you want? It's kind of the same thing with Gatecreeper. What more can you want except some good old new school, old school death metal? Alright, coming in at number 4 was a surprise release. It kind of came out of fucking nowhere, but it's on this list. We got GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, probably my second favorite rapper, only to Eminem. And he's another rapper that just does not miss. Every song on this album is a banger. I'd say it's probably his most. I actually like this better than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Actually, I don't know. I might have to think about that. Actually, no. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was better, but this is really close. Definitely better than Damn, and it's definitely better than the Kendrick diss tracks. Mainly Not Like Us. I like that song, but let's all be honest, it's overplayed. But the others, Euphoria and Meet the Grants, were much better. So yeah, GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Coming in at number 3, saw them on this tour, is Invincible Shield by Judas Priest. Now, I am one of these type of people that tends to kind of just roll my eyes when, people just add, like, legacy bands as, like, their best work, like Megadeth. I do like the new Megadeth, but it's, not, like, best of all time or anything. Or even the new Metallica, which are my favorite band. I normally roll my eyes because, I would like, make room for newer artists. This, on the other hand, is one of the few exceptions. Judas Priest is one of the few old school 80s metal bands, or just even just old school metal in general, that still make quality music. I will say, I'll even go as far as to say it's better than Firepower. And I love Firepower, but this was way better. I was hyped when Panic Attack dropped as the single, and then they dropped more and more singles, and it's just they delivered on this album. Rob Halford still kicking ass at 70-something years old. And he kicked ass live when I saw them back in May on this tour. And I'm just saying, if you get a chance, go see Judas Priest. I mean, they're just amazing live. Alright, so at number 3, Invincible Shield, Judas Priest. Coming in at number 2 is Songs of a Lost World by The Cure. This one was kind of unexpected too. This was their first album in 16 years. And when they dropped the first single, I was almost in tears because I'm a big fan of The Cure. Like, Robert Smith to me is up there as one of the best lyricists of all time. And Disintegration, I know it's a basic fucking pick, but it's one of the greatest albums of all time. And when they drop, I would say this is probably the best Cure album since Wish. There, I said it. Yeah, like it's got that, it's kind of mixing, like, it's kind of everything that they've done in their discography. It's got, like, the darker vibes of Pornography or 17 Seconds, but it's also got the more poppy, more lighter stuff that you would hear on, like, Disintegration or Wish. And I like it when bands do it. It's basically everything they've done, their whole discography, and what more can you ask? It's the fucking Cure. So at number 2, Songs of a Lost World by The Cure, and coming in at number 1 is You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To by Knocked Loose. Okay, all you Jimmy Kimmel fans that are whining and bitching, you can fuck right off. When I first heard this album, when it dropped, I knew it was like, this is it. This is the album of the year. I mean, when they first dropped Blinding Faith as a single, I knew it was going to be awesome. And then they dropped Don't Reach Me as a single, and I was like, this is even better. And Suffocate with Poppy, I will admit, it is a bit overplayed, but it has every right to be because it's a fucking awesome song. I'm not even the biggest Poppy fan. I think she whoops ass on that song. And, like, the whole album is just banger after banger. This is their best album yet. Knocked Loose is just one of those bands. They're kind of like Pantera in a sense, where the more popular they get, the more heavy they get. And I really like that. I mean, their performance on Jimmy Kimmel was just bonkers. So, and to all the people complaining about it, you can kiss my ass. You can kiss the whole metal community's ass, because grow up. Anyway, that is it for this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Don't gatekeep, and rock on.